Shalom, Kahalayam La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the Lord's elect. I opened up this video speaking the pure tongue, the Hebrew language, where I gave all praises to the Most High and his true name, which is Yahweh, meaning he is, he exists, he to be, in the name of his son, Yahawashai. All right. Yahawashai is the true name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And Yahawashai means he deliver or he savior. All right. And everyone on this earth needs Yahawashai. All right. Even the heathen, they need to get in order. OK, that's so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native Americans. We're the real Israelites, as well as a multitude scattered throughout the earth, even some of us looking like the other nations. All right. But if this word resonates with your spirit, more than likely you go back to the seed line of Jacob. All right. Because you are who you are as far as nationality is concerned. You are who you are according to your father. It doesn't matter what your mother is and what she looks like. All right. So I'm back in the spirit with a quick video, Lord's will. It's edifying. I got a few more screenshots I took this morning from things in the news. And as you see in the title, it's going to get a whole lot worse. All right. It's going to get a lot worse. As this post right here says, LA County reports another steep increase in the number of hate crimes. All right. And they're talking about racism, the real pandemic. All right. And this all type of tension and turmoil, not only going on out here in LA, but all across this country, not only in America, which is Babylon the Great, but globally, all across the world. You see these global conflicts, right, between different nations. Well, this was all prophesied. This is all a part of prophecy, end time prophecy. All right. But we're living in a time just like before the flood, during the time of Noah, where violence was at an all-time high. OK, and that's what we're seeing now. Violence is increasing every day. There's all types of homicides and murders everywhere. All right. Fights breaking out, just chaos. All right. But it's the point is we haven't seen anything yet. All right. We ain't seen nothing yet. It's going to get a whole lot worse soon. All right. What else? Police search for gunmen after fatal shooting inside LA Live restaurant. All right. Yeah. Hey, like Yahushua said, the love of many will wax cold. All right. You wicked people out here, you could just be out dining, eating dinner at a restaurant, and then someone in there pulls out a gun and then blows your head off in the midst of you eating food. All right. This is the time that we're living in. All right. So let's deal with the violence first. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Actually, before I get 2nd Ezra 13, let's go to Matthew 24 and start at verse 7. Matthew 24:7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation." All right, what's that? People, race wars. All right, as we saw in that post here in LA, they're talking about racism is the real pandemic and how hate crime is rising. Well, it's going to get a whole lot worse, where it's literally going to be a race war out here. It says in kingdom against kingdom. And ultimately, these world powers are gearing up for World War III. It says, "And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And there's famines, in certain parts of the earth, but ultimately a big engineered famine is going to hit here in America, all right, in the UK and all across the world. There's earthquakes going on everywhere, every minute of the day. All right. But let's deal with pestilence. All right. Because this is the new thing. 10 U.S. states report a surge in respiratory illness. All right. And this is interesting because out there in China, they have an epidemic going on of some type of, respiratory illness. All right. Could this be the start of a new C19 global pandemic? We'll see, but it very well could be. All right. And we know that because it's end time prophecy right here. Yahweh Shai said it. There's going to be pestilences. All right. That's multiple. OK. And here's the point in verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right. So this is only just the beginning. It's going to get a whole lot worse. All right. So now going back to this violence that's increasing. Again, not only in LA, but all across this country. And not only in this country, so-called America, which is Babylon the Great, but all across the world. Crime and hate crime and racism, racial tension and violence is increasing in this earth in general. All right. It's going to get a whole lot worse. Now let's go to 2nd Ezra 13 and jump down to the point in verse 31. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another. All right. Just wait. Hey, violence and crime is increasing right now. It's at an all-time high. And nothing really has even happened yet. But just imagine when, this society completely crashes, when there is no food inside a grocery store. All right. When there is no gas at the gas station. Right. When there is no electricity and running water. All right. People are already on edge. Just imagine when that time hits, and it's coming soon. All right. And this devil is orchestrating it. His whole motto is Odo ab Chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos. So he's going to allow this chaos to happen so he can come in with his UN troops, which are already here in these states. All right, as sleeper cells, martial law, right? And then give people the mark of the beast, which is that microchip. All right, so this is all in order. All right, it says one city against another. Yeah, out here in LA, you got, I remember back during the elections, you had, Orange County, which is a county of cities out here. The sheriffs out there was beefing with the LA County sheriffs. All right. I mean, you got certain red states and blue states that's against each other. That's that division, that opposition. All right. Controlled opposition at that, just to create this type of tension and chaos. But then let alone in one state, you might have a whole state, like California, that's blue. All right. Democratic. All right. Which is all bullshit. But just to the point, California is a blue Democratic state. But then you have cities in California that are red, that are Republican, like those Orange County cities. All right. So you can easily see how one city is going to be fighting against another. It says one place against another, one people against another. Right. It's going to be race wars, class wars, sex wars, World War III. All right. It says and one realm against another, because it's going to be actual manifested demons out here plaguing people. All right. And then ultimately during World War III, Yahweh Shai and the angels are coming from the spiritual realm. All right. To put an end to all this. OK, so this is the time we're approaching. All right. Now you see why this video is titled, It's going to get a whole lot worse. We haven't seen anything yet. Let's grab another precept in 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 15. I'll start at 14. Woe to the world, which means woe means destruction, anguish, trouble. All right. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword, all right, which the modern day sword is what? The gun. All right. The ultimate form of the sword we have now is the nuclear missile. But all of that's coming. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. All right. Now here in America, so-called Babylon the Great, there's more guns than citizens. All right. Everyone has a gun, pretty much. It says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? Guns in their hands. All right. So this racism, the real pandemic, LA County reports another steep increase in the number of hate crimes. Well, it's about to get a whole lot worse. All right. It's going to get a whole lot worse. All right. All of these, American citizens are armed. All right. And that's for the purpose and intent for what we're reading right here. All right. Because they're going to kill each other with these guns. You even have certain states like Arizona, Texas, Florida, other states too, where there's not only can you openly carry a gun, but you could also conceal a gun, without a permit. You don't even need a permit. You just go get a gun and it's yours. You just roll around with it. All right. So this is all gearing up for the prophecy we're reading about. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. All right. Insurrections, violent uprisings, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Right. Which the modern day kings and princes are the presidents, governors, mayors. All right. They ain't going to care what the police is saying. The police going to be defending their families and worried about themselves. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And it's going to be martial law. And Esau has allowed mercenaries to come across this border, the southern border of America. There's all type of mercenaries from different nations coming over here. And they have refuges where they could go and it's probably guns stored somewhere for them. And in that time, they're going to be given the order. They're going to be activated to let loose. All right. Notice all of those men. We all seen the videos on TikTok of mass amounts of men coming across this border. Well, where are the women? They didn't bring their daughters. They didn't bring their wives. They left them where they at because they getting ready to unleash judgment on the Babylonian women that they've been seeing on TikTok twerking on these social media platforms with all they goods showing. We're in the time of the prophecy where women are about to get ravished and ran through. All right. Like Apostle Aramlab said, these proud ass women, they going to find themselves somewhere in a ditch with their panties to their ankles. All right. And it's brutal and gruesome as it sounds. At the end of the day, it's all a part of prophecy. All right. This is the scriptures we're reading, the holy scriptures. But continuing on, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see, and this is all because of pride, the pride of Babylon the Great, the pride of these American citizens. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So again, violence is increasing right now while society's still functioning. But just imagine when it hits this time we're reading about. All right. Where there's a lack of bread, which means a lack of resources, famine, no food in the grocery stores, no essential items. All right. No running water, no electricity. All right. When there's great tribulation in this earth, people are going to lose it and they're going to resort to that gun that they have. All right. And they're going to kill each other. OK, so this is the time we're approaching where it's going to get a whole lot worse. All right. Let's grab two more scriptures. Let's go to Isaiah 19. and get straight to the point in verse 2. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, so the Lord ultimately is orchestrating this spirit in the earth of division. The modern day Egyptian is the American, all right, where they're going to fight against each other. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. You see, this is the spirit that the Lord is stirring up in this earth, where people are going to fight against their loved ones. All right. The Lord said a man's foes is going to be those of his own household in this time we in. All right. They're going to fight against their brothers. All right. Their neighbors. They're going to kill each other and then take their goods, take their resources. All right. Which, includes not only, food and essentials, but also women and children are going to be taken away captive. All right. Because you got to think about it. Don't think with emotion. Like, that wouldn't happen. No, think realistically. All right. When there's no 911 response, when it's complete lawlessness, people are not going to fear consequences. All right. Think about it. These people are already bugged the hell out. They are already shooting each other up and, quick to get carnal. Just imagine when there's no thought of a consequence for their action. They're going to go all out. All right. This is why it's really time to awake out of sleep and repent, so you could be under that hedge and protection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. You women out there that's viewing, you better take heed, because you're not exempt from what I'm reading. A whole bunch of women are getting ready to be judged. So if you a sister out there and you sincere about this truth, hey, you better take heed and work out your salvation. All right. If you got a man, you better worship that man, reverence that man, because you're under his protection. If you don't have a man, pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that he sends you a man of the Lord. All right. This is a very explicit time we're getting ready to enter in. We're going to see all type of stuff. All right. And the Lord is going to put the spirit on us to stomach the things, the gruesome things that we see. All right. This time that we're coming into is described as a time like never before, worse than any other time on this earth. All right. Go talk to a war veteran who actually fought and was active in a war, who was troubled and plagued with PTSD. All right. Who saw his buddy that he went through combat training with get his head blown off right next to him. Go talk to them and ask them, is this a joke? No, this is deadly serious. All right. This time we coming into is going to be worse than any of those wars right here in America. All right. That's why it's important to take heed. Take heed to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. By the mouth of his servants. Because the only way you're going to make it out of this time is through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's miracles. All right. And only the elect is going to receive that gift. So, we got to keep praying that we're of the elect. All right. Now let's end this lesson off in 1 Thessalonians 5. And I got one more screenshot here. It says you see the image of Bank of America, which there was a Bank of America not too far from my house that I used to go to. And one day recently, like a couple weeks ago, I popped up and the bank was just closed randomly. All right. It was closed, and there was a few people, standing out there like looking clueless, like, oh, shit, it's closed. Yeah. A lot of these banks are closing, and it's not in mainstream media. It's just happening. It says 60 plus major bank branches filed to close in a single week. All right. Now, what is the purpose of this? Because they're about to do away with this whole banking system that we're used to. They're about to do away with cash. Everything is going to go digital. And ultimately they're going to implement that microchip. All right. So the time of our salvation is very near. High time to awake out of sleep. 1 Thessalonians 5. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. All right. Because we know what time it is. Unlike the rest of this world. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Because these people aren't expecting Yahushai. They don't even believe in Yahushai. All right. So that day the missiles is shot off. It's going to smack them right upside the head. And they never saw it coming, though they had the prophets warning them. It says, and here's the point 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, so there is no escape for these wicked people of the world. The only escape is for the elect. All right, and at a time least expected, all hell and chaos is going to pop off and break loose. And that time is even sooner than we believe in this truth. All right, sooner than we think. When shit pops off, it ain't like we gonna have it's gonna catch us off guard. But the thing is that once it happens, we're gonna be comforted. The Lord is gonna increase our zeal, because this is what we've been talking about this whole time. So we'll be in the knowing. All right, Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right. Verse 4 says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. And what does the night and darkness represent? These people out here who don't know what the hell is going on. These people out here who don't believe in Yahushai. All right, they are the night. They are the darkness. It says, therefore, let us not sleep as do others. Let us watch and be sober. Right, because the rest of this world, they're slumped. All right, it says, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, all right, spiritually sober, knowing what time it is, behaving ourselves in a godly-like conduct, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. For the Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushai. All right. So Lord willing, that's what we're pushing towards, for Yahushai to deliver us, as his name, means. All right. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the Lord's